Alright, so now we will be doing a push-up. I will be demonstrating for you. It is a great upper body workout that works on your shoulders and chest. Alright, watch closely. For a standard push-up, you want your hands to be shoulder width apart. Place your palms flat on the floor, aligned symmetrical with your shoulders. Now as I lower my body, I'm keeping my back straight and my core engaged. I'm pressing my body away from the ground until my arms are fully extended, but I'm not locking my elbows. So this will be locking your elbows. That is not what you want. I'm going to go down and up. The movement really targets your chest and arms while engaging your core. Now it is your turn, right? Your turn. Remember to keep your hands shoulder width apart. Focus on maintaining a straight line from your head to your heels. You can go do your push-up. Remember to lower your body smoothly. Let's focus on safety. There you go. Let me know if you have feel any strain here. I can stop. Alright, you did so well. So I would also like to tell you about keeping your elbows at a 45 degree angle instead of flaring them out. So we don't want to do this. We want to keep them at a 45 degree angle. This will help engage your pectoralis major and your anterior deltoid. Okay. Alright, so I would like to explain the muscles to you. As you perform the push-up, your primary agonist muscles being activated is the pectoralis major and anterior deltoid and the triceps brachii. The antagonistic muscles includes the latissimus dorsi and the bicep brachii. We are using the shoulder joints, which is a ball and socket joint, during both lowering and raising phases, coordinating horizontal extension and flexion, respectively. At the elbow joint, which is a hinge joint, we also see flexion as you lower down and extension all the way up. Alright, I would just like to show you some adaptations you can do with the push-up as well. So you get the standard ladies push-up that you can do. That's on your knees and you just go down. Then you also can modify the push-up by doing a wide grip push-up that emphasizes on the chest more, or a close grip push-up that will focus more on your triceps. And then we are done with the push-up. Okay, alright, we will be demonstrating a squat now. So I will demonstrate for you and afterwards you'll have a chance as well to do squats. Alright, you can just have a look from that angle. I want you to have a look on where I place my backside, where my knees are, where my feet are. So I'll start by demonstrating a correct squat. Standing with your feet, shoulders apart, shoulder width apart, and point your toes slightly outward. As I squat down, I am pushing my hips back as if I'm sitting in a chair, keeping my chest up and my backside straight. My knees should stay aligned with my toes and not go beyond them. I'll go down until my thighs are parallel to the floor, or even lower if you can do it safely. Then I'll push back through my heels and stand up back. So try to use your heels to push yourself back, otherwise we will put a lot of tension on the knees. I'm also going to explain the muscles. So during the squat, the primary agonist muscles being activated are your quadriceps, hamstrings, and gluteus maximus. The agonist muscles involved are hip flexors and calves. As you perform the squat, we are primarily using the hip and knee joints. The hip joints, which is also a ball and socket joint, like it allows for flexion and extension during this movement. The knee joints are a hinge joint and will flex as lower down and extend as you return to standing. All right, now it's your turn. As your trainer, you can go down. I will be spotting you by standing close behind you. If you lose your balance, I can help. You will not fall. There you go. And keep your back in a good position. That is perfect. Well done. Then we can have an option of adaptation. So I also like, if the normal squat is too easy for you, you can always try a sumo squat. So sumo squat, your legs will be a bit further apart, toes a bit wider out, and you will go down like that. I quite enjoy this one. And you can always add a kettlebell and add some weight to do it. Would you like to try this one as well? Awesome. Well done. All right, now we will be doing the single leg Romanian deadlift. This exercise is a fantastic in building strength and stability in your hamstrings and your glutes and core. So we're going to dive in. Perfect. I'll demonstrate for you first, and then you'll have a chance to try it. All right. I will stand like this. You can just move if you're wondering to see what angle. So we'll stand tall with your feet hip width apart. Shift your weight onto one leg, so you choose which leg you want to start with, and keep a slight bend in the knee. That is the standing leg. Just move a bit for the camera. As I hinge at the hips, I'm lowering my torso to the ground while extending the other leg straight back behind me. Keep your back straight and core engaged throughout the movement. I'll lower down until my torso is parallel to the floor and return standing, driving through my standard yield. I'm going to do it a bit faster now. The slow movement is a bit harder for the stability. So it will be like that. And up. Alright, so just to explain the spotting areas, I'll be here to assist you when you need me. I'll stand closely by and spot your hips and help you maintain balance, especially if you lower yourself. Alright, so then you can turn into your movement. There we go. Start by balancing on your right leg. Remember to keep that leg slightly bent. Well done. And engage your core as you hinge at the hips. Nice start. Remember to keep your hips squared and avoid letting your standing knee bend inward. Well done. There you go. Focus on maintaining a straight back. Straight back. There we go. Well done. And then we can do the other leg. There we go. So to explain the muscles to you, the primary agonist muscles involved are the hamstrings, the gluteus maximus, and the erector spina. And the antagonistic muscles include the quadriceps and the hip flexors. Doing it very well. Give me one more. This movement primarily utilizes the hip and socket joints, which allows your hip flexion as you lower your torso. The knee joint, which is a hinge joint, stabilizes a slight flexion. All right. So we do have an option of adaptation. If we use a weight in the arm opposite to the standing leg, it might help you to be a bit more stabilized. Would you like to try that one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Yes. And just when you're hanging forward, how do you find that? Do you find that a bit easier?
Yes.
Well done. Thank you. All right, for our second last exercise, we're going to do the bend over row. I will demonstrate for you like the other exercises, and then you can do it as well. So just have a nice look at how I keep my posture, and then I'll chat to you during the session that I'm demonstrating. All right, so you can either do a bent over row with weights, or if you don't have weights, you can also use a broomstick or anything that might have some weights on. So I do have dumbbells. Okay, so they are. Make sure if the video is recording everything. Okay, so we're going to first stand with our feet shoulder width apart and hold my dumbbells in both hands, palms facing each other. All right, so hinge at your hips while keeping your back straight and your core tight until your torso is almost parallel to the floor. Start with your arms extending straight down. Now, as I pull the weights towards my lower rib cage, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. After a brief pause, I'll lower them back down with control. So, and squeeze and lower back. You can just make sure that I'm not rounding my back. Squeeze and down. All right, then you can give it a try. All right, now it's your turn. Begin by positioning yourself with your feet shoulder width apart and with your dumbbells in your hand in a row position. There you go. Just remember to keep that back straight, avoid rounding your shoulders. You can just bend a bit forward, pull it towards your rib cage. This will target your back muscles more effectively. I'll be here to support you where you need it. Sorry for that interruption. All right, so with the squatting, I will stand here behind you, and I'll just make sure that you maintain a straight back and you don't overextend your arms. And help you keep proper form. How does that feel? All right, you can just keep going. There you go. All right, to explain the muscles to you, during the bent over row, the primary agonist muscles are the latissimus dorsi, rhomboids, trapezius, and bicep brachii. The antagonists include the pectoralis major and the deltoids. This exercise primarily involves the shoulder joints, and which is a ball and socket joint. During the rowing movement, we see the shoulders extension as the arm pull back and flexion as they return to the starting position, along with some elbow flexion and extension. Well done, you're doing very well, and you can have a break. Adaptations for the exercise. We can adapt it by, for instance, do a one arm row that will focus a bit more on one side of the back. Would you be interested in that? All right, let me quickly show you. So one foot in front of the other, and you will stay in position Make sure you don't bend your back. And roll. Would you like to try it? Remember to keep your back straight. There you go. Well done, you're doing very well. Perfect. And then we'll do the next one. Alright, now for the last exercise, we will be doing the plank. So we're going to push for a minute. I'll demonstrate again firstly, and then you'll do it. And after that, when we ensure you got it right, I can show you some adaptations that we can do. Alright, so I'll start. So by lying face forward to the mat, place your elbows and forearms on the ground, directly under your shoulders, like that. This is the starting position. Now tuck your toes and lift your body off the ground. You want to form a straight line with your head and heels. Engage your core by pulling your belly button towards your spine and keep your hip levels. Don't let them sag towards the ground. So we don't want to do this, we don't want to do this. We just want to keep it like that. Alright. Would you like to try now? Are you ready for that core? Yay! Okay, perfect. Just to explain the muscles to you, that's perfect like that. Alright, let me just put on the timer. Alright, the agonist muscles, let me stand like this. The agonistic muscles that are being activated are the rectus abdominis, and the transverse abdominis and the obliques. Additionally, the shoulder stabilizers, the serratus anterior and the gluteus maximus are working as well. That will be your bum. The antagonistic muscles include the erector spina and the lower back, which helps maintain stability. Remember to breathe through it and relax.
What is it? Sorry.
Alright, are you ready to go again? Alright, the joints that we are using, the primary joints involve the plank, that are the shoulder joints and the elbow joints, where you just keep your feet and relax. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
Alright, perfect. This will be the last one. Okay, so it's the shoulder joints and the elbow joints. The shoulder joints are ball and socket joint. They remain stable, while your elbow joint and hinge joint keep your arms locked at the 90 degrees. And relax. Perfect. Alright, you can just take a breather for now. I would just like to explain also that this position results in isometric contractions, meaning the muscles are engaged without changing length, holding the position steady. Just to show you, if we wanted to adapt, like you say your core is tight now, or it might not be strong enough, then for adaptation we can do knee planks. We can also do side planks, or we can incorporate shoulder taps. That would be like that. I know your core is tired now, so I'm not going to ask you to do that, but thank you so much for participating in my video, and I hope I did teach you how certain exercises work. Thank you so much.